Alright, so I quarantined the guppies. Their water's kind of gross right now. And my tetras are doing good. A few days ago they had some ick, and I did cure that. I wanted to make sure nobody in the tank had ick before I added them. I'm pretty sure that Molly's gonna have babies soon. I don't honestly know what I'm gonna do with this many guppies. But they needed a new home, so we're gonna provide them with that as long as we can. So, scoop them as gently as I can. My net is slightly wider than this bucket. Alright. I did drip acclimate them throughout the morning as well, so they have some of the tank water in there. There's the first batch, little teeny baby guppies. Figuring out where they are. There's some fancy males in there. I also have some of my own, like this little orange guy. So I'm hoping, like that's a pretty one. That one back there too. But I'm hoping I can get some really cool, like hybrids and different colors with these guppies. And maybe be able to sell some of them here locally. I got these, rescued these from somebody who's moving, and they got them from someone who was attempting to breed guppies, and it got out of hand. So a lot of the guppies, when I arrived, were not doing very well. There was a ton of dead guppies in the tank. Now some more of them. I got most of the big ones. This is just gonna be some more of these little guys. Itty bitty guppies. Oh, that's a lot of guppies. This is quite a large tank. This is 125 gallons. Currently I've got some Cory catfish in it. I've got those tetras, I've got some mollies, I've got this little pleco here. I think there's a few snails hanging around. I put some snails in here. Oh, there's one. They're listed for sale, but I had them in a bucket, but they didn't like the bucket, which is fair. But yeah, generally my tank doesn't really have a lot of larger fish, and honestly with this many very tiny guppies, this might sound cruel, but if a couple of them don't make it, that's just gonna be fine. But they should be pretty strong swimmers. So we got a coolie loach back there having a little wiggle fest. And there he goes. Yeah, there's some of those guys in here too. Yeah, let's, there's just a few guppies left in here. See if I can scoop them all at once. Maybe. I think I got them. A lot of the time, these baby guppies, they'll just go straight in the net. They're not very bright. But yeah, those guys, they're really tiny. I think one of the guppies in here actually had some more babies while they were in quarantine. Because I quarantined them for like a week. I did have to keep them in the bucket because I've been rescuing and quarantining quite a few fish lately, and all of my smaller tanks were full, but I had the bucket filled to the top, and then I was just doing 50% water change every day. So yeah, looks like they're getting along. little baby guys. They're figuring it out. I do have like a ton of places for them to hide. I've got like this dark area with a ton of moss. I've got this area with a ton of moss. I've got a really bad camera. I've got some caves in here. Most of these plants are artificial. I do have some real ones in here. This tank previously hosted some dojo loaches, which I've moved to a different tank, and those guys rip up plants, so slowly working on getting some more live plants in there. There's so much poop on the ground. I need to vacuum the ground again. Water change day is like tomorrow, I think. I'll have to put a mesh over the siphon just to make sure I don't suck up any of these cute little guys. But yeah, that's what it looks like to release around 100 guppies. And the funny part is, like, the listing that I got online, that I saw, there was no pictures attached. I just made a listing on a local buy-sell group, and it said, basically, if you have fish you can't keep, contact me. No questions, no questions asked, no judgment. I will reach out to you and try my best to rehome them or find somebody else who can. And this person contacted me and is like, hey, I have like probably 4 or 5 guppies that need rehoming. And I was like, oh yeah, I can take that. And then they're like, yeah, there's some babies too. And then I got there and there was like that many. I was just like, yeah, that's 4 or 5 guppies. I'll go with that. And then I have this many assassin snails, which somebody's coming by this weekend to actually take most of them off my hands. I am going to keep some of them to breed. But yeah, guppies.